Hello, welcome back to the Lessons in Stances series. In this video, we're covering the crane stance. So the crane stance looks like this, up on one leg. So right away from this, we can extrapolate about previous lessons from this series, about something I was talking about how these stances are not necessarily stances like you're squaring up with somebody, but they're moments in time that you're transitioning through. They're steps. That means it's implying an active movement. So I'm not going to square up with somebody and be like, all right, come at me, right? Because that'd be stupid, right? They just attack your supporting leg, you fall on the ground, look like an idiot, right? So these are not positions. They are moments in time as we're transitioning from foot to foot. Now, about the crane stance in specific, right? For the most part, a lot of people can see how this could be used like, practicing knee strikes or kicking, as well as that you can use it for defense, like you can see in lots of MMA or even like tournament fighting. You'll see them do lots of kicking, and then you'll see people bring up their leg and use it as a shield to guard from the kicks, right? So in this way is one way that you could use this stance. So you could be squaring up with somebody, fighting, and then use it as a shield, or even boom, right? It's like a transitional movement where you can kick again, right? Use a shield, right? But never staying in one spot, always transitioning from movement to movement. Now, what I want to focus on more for this video is on the aspects of why it's called crane stance, right? From crane, we look about the elegance and the balance of the crane, right? Have you ever seen like a crane in like the bog? You'll see it up on one leg, and you might see it transition from one foot to the other, right? Very elegant movement, but you'll see they'll have very good balance and very good central equilibrium. So this is what we're really trying to gain in the aspects of the stance, trying to gain balance. And I don't mean it's only going to be used as like a training stance, and that doesn't have martial applications, because it does, right? It's not just for training, but also for training balance as we transition from step to step, because that's the most important part. If I am very stable in, say, bow stance, and I'm very stable in horse stance, I'm very stable in cat stance, that's great. But if I can't transition from one to the other, then it's useless, right? It'd be like, okay, as long as I'm standing, I have root. But as soon as I move, I lose root. But once I stand again, I have root, right? It's those transitional moments where a lot of us get caught, right? So crane stance, I look at it as a kind of in-between stance movement, right? So if I'm like, say, taking from bow stance to bow stance, there's a moment in time there where I'm only on one leg, right? If I blow it up and exaggerate the movement, it's like I'm coming up into crane and then stepping forward, right? I could do it exaggerated like that, could like knee strike, toe kick to the knee, or I could just do it small, just moving forward. But the thing that we're trying to gain is that there's a moment in time where I've transitioned from my bow step and I'm on one foot, and then I transition to my second bow step. And if that moment where I'm on one foot, I'm no longer stable, that's where the opponent will catch you. So learning how to find your balance in between steps is what this is all about, right? So ways that people would actually train this, and ways I have trained in this class, is that I'll have people stand on one leg, and I'll have another student, give them gentle pushes to different areas of their body to see if they could absorb the force, or take the force without falling over. And of course, before that, you have to learn how to not fall over without any force coming at you, right? Just learning how to get that central equilibrium, and then learning how to maintain that central equilibrium while an opponent is pushing on you or trying to manipulate your structure. And the more you work on this aspect, the more you'll be able to transition from one foot to the other without losing your root. One of the ways that I would train this from my teacher is that we'd essentially just walk around the room. He'd say, okay, you're here, I want you to get over there, and I want you to not walk in a straight line. I want you to kind of do zigzags, walk around, and I just want you to transition from stance to stance using all your stances, but in between each stance, you're doing a crane stance. So for example, if I'm moving my way over that way, I might start in a bow stance, and I come up into a crane stance, and I go to bow stance, then I come up into crane stance, do an X stance, turn, crane stance, cat stance. And what this will do, again, is train that balance, train that coordination, train that transition from one movement to the other, maintaining balance as I do so, and maintaining stability as I do so. So look at the crane stance like this, both from the guard perspective, using this as a shield or using it to kick, but as well working on that transitional movement. Because if our transitional movement from one position to another is not sufficient, then there's weaknesses. Our kung fu becomes binary, where it's like it's good now, it's bad now, it's good now, it's bad now. We want to keep it good throughout. We want to maintain our root and maintain our power. So that's the crane stance. See you next video.